For 40 years he served faithfully, and when freedom finally came, it came with mockery. They laughed as he was given a dying horse, but buried beneath that saddle was a secret powerful enough to change destinies. This is not a story of wealth. It is a story of loyalty, and how patience can inherit what pride rejects. Long ago, in the sun-drenched plains of northern Nigeria, stood a mighty baobab tree, its branches wide like the arms of an elder. Under its shade, people gathered for food, for laughter, and for stories that outlived their tellers. Among them was Alhaji Dantani, rich and boastful. His courtyard was filled with cattle, his storehouses overflowed with grains, and his friends dined with him every evening beneath the baobab in front of his house. But wealth does not always walk with wisdom. When his father passed away, Dantani inherited not only riches, but also servants and 4 horses. 3 of the horses were strong and proud. 2 were black and 1 brown, admired by all who saw them. They danced in the sunlight and carried Dantani through the streets with pride. But there was a 4th horse, quiet, lean, strange. This was the one his father loved most. The father's last words to the son was, "Dantani, my son, listen to me well. If I should die today, this horse you see, never leash it, never strip it of its saddle. Treat it with care, and one day it shall take you to wealth greater than cattle or land." But pride deafens the ears. The very day the grave of his father was covered with sand, Dantani laughed at the warning. "This horse? Bring what?" Dantani mocked his father to his friends. "Ha! My father was wise and many things, but has poor taste in horses. Look at this one, thin, ugly, useless. What wealth can such a creature bring? Haba!" His friends laughed loudly, clapping hands, chewing meat. And so he leashed the horse, shackled it in the corner of his compound. The sun beat on its back, the rain soaked its skin, and soon the beast grew frail, ribs sharp against its hide. Meanwhile, the other 3 horses were brushed, fed, and celebrated. In that same house lived a servant, Mallam, who had served Dantani's father faithfully for 40 long years. He rose before dawn together with the other servants, swept the yard, cared for the cattle, the horses, and worked on Dantani's farm. One day, tired and frail with age, Isa came before his master. "Alhaji, I have served this family since your father's days. My back is bent, my eyes are dim. If it pleases you, grant me freedom to live on in my old age." Dantani's friends sat with him under the baobab, eating meat and drinking sweet kunu. Dantani smirked, looked at Isa, and whispered to his companions, mockingly, "After 40 years of service, this man deserves a gift, eh?" The friends chuckled. One of them said, "Give him a goat." The other said, "No, no, give him 1 bag of millet." Dantani then laughed. "Millet? Goat? Ha! I will give him a horse." There was a pause. The friends gasped, thinking it generous. Dantani continued, "But not one of the proud, strong horses. Number." He pointed to the frail, dying one, the very horse his father had warned him to treat with care. Dantani, in a mocking tone, "There, Isa. Take it, a horse fit for your service. Let it carry you into old age." The friends roar with laughter. The servant bowed low, quiet and humbly said, "Nagod Alhaji. May God bless it for me," and he led the dying horse away. The people of Tudunwada village shook their heads. Some laughed, some pitied Isa, but all agreed Dantani had mocked his father's loyal servant. Yet, under the filth of that saddle, beneath years of dust and neglect, slept a secret the rich man had despised, a secret that would one day turn mockery into regret. In the land of the baobab, no insult hides forever. The ground remembers, the trees remember, and even a weary horse can carry the weight of destiny. Mallam Isa, the old servant, led the frail horse away from Al-Haji Dantani's compound. Its ribs showed like sticks beneath the skin, its steps dragged like an old man's sigh. Yet Isa did not complain. When the people saw him with the horse, they laughed. A villager said mockingly, "Look, Isa has been paid with bones." Another villager said, 40 years of service, and all he got is a dying beast." Ha 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 ha. But Isa only smiled, bowing his head. Isa always say to himself softly, "A gift is a gift, and my freedom is more than the gift." Every morning Isa will unleash the horse, feed the it with the little he had. He washed its wounds, brushed its thin hair, and spoke to it like a friend. Slowly the animal's eyes brightened, its strength returning drop by drop. One evening, as he cleans the filthy saddle that had never left its back, his hand brushed against something hard. Isa whispered to himself, "What is this?" From beneath the old leather, Isa pulled out a folded piece of paper, yellow with age. Solemn, mysterious. With trembling hands, Isa opened it. The words inside were written by the old master himself. The old master's voice echoing soft into Isa's ear. "My son, if you are reading this, it means I am gone. This horse is my faithful companion. Never leash it. If you have been treating it with care, it shall take you to my hidden wealth. Take the horse to Green Forest, unmount it, feed it 3 white kola nuts and 2 red kola nuts, then free it and follow it. Wherever it digs, there lies my fortune. If it does not dig, return again, until it deems you worthy. It will not dig." Isa sat in silence. His hands shook, his heart raced. Isa whispering again, voice trembling, "This was not meant for me. This was for Dantani." But he despised the gift. He leashed the horse. He mocked me. Could it be that destiny has turned his insult into my blessing? Isa bowed his head in gratitude, tears glistening in his eyes. Isa said gently to the horse, "My friend, you are no curse. You are a test." That night, Isa could not sleep. He started thinking about the forest and waited for the dawn. He doesn't know how to get to the forest. He has only heard of Green Forest few times. It lay miles away, dark and mysterious. Many feared it, but he feels he was ready to find the forest. Early the next morning, Mallam Isa left his weak horse at home and went into the village. He asked from house to house, searching for anyone who knew the way to the Green Forest. Most people shook their heads, but at last he found an old hunter who knew the path. The hunter described the journey, pointing out landmarks Isa would see along the way. By then, Isa was tired and worn out. He returned home, cared for the frail horse, and rested. The next morning he walked to the busy market. There he bought 5 kola nuts, 3 white and 2 red, just as the letter instructed. He also bought a hoe, some foodstuffs, and a gallon for water. By evening his heart was set, his bundle was ready, his spirit prepared. Mallam Isa was all set for the journey into the Green Forest. And love to the Green Forest, he entered the Green Forest with hope in his heart. But he did not know where to look, nor what to look for. He just found a place in the forest, knelt before the horse, fed it with the 5 kola nuts, and spoke to it gently. "Let your work begin." Isa walked the forest trails from morning till evening, waiting for the horse to stop and dig, but the horse did not dig. The sun went down and the shadows grew long. Mallam Isa looked back at the long distance he had covered. He shook his head and said to himself, "I will not return home until I find the treasure my master promised." That night, he slept in the cold forest, and at dawn he rose again. The second day came and went. The horse did not dig. The third day passed, still nothing. By the 4th day, Isi was tired and hungry, for his food was finished. The horse, however, had all the grasses of the forest and grew stronger. Finally, Isa said, "At sunrise I will leave this forest, for I have nothing more to eat. I will go home and prepare very well. Then I will come back and continue my search." But as they were walking toward the path home, the horse suddenly stopped. Isa tugged at the reins, but the horse refused to move. Then it turned, stepping off the path, into a thicket Isa had not noticed before. Isa released the reins and followed. The horse led him slowly, then stopped beneath a tree. With sudden strength, it struck the ground with its hoof and began to dig. Isa stood in amazement, his heart beating fast, for at last the promise of his master was about to be revealed. Mallam Isa dropped his small bundle, picked up his hoe, and joined the horse in digging beneath the tree. For an hour he worked, sweat pouring down his face, the forest air heavy with silence. But the earth revealed nothing. At last Isa dropped the hoe, sat beneath the tree, and sighed deeply. He turned to the horse and said softly, "Are you sure this is the place? Have you not forgotten the place?" The horse only flicked its tail and chewed the grass. Isa stared at it for a long moment, then shook his head and stood again. With weary hands, he struck the ground once more. Then again, and again. Suddenly, the hoe struck something hard. The sound was unlike stone. Isa froze. Carefully, he dug away the soil, and there it was, an old, dirty leather bag buried deep among the roots. The bag tore open, spilling a glimmer of light into the dark forest floor. Isa's eyes widened as gold coins rolled into the earth. Jewels sparkled like stars appeared from the soil beneath the roots of that ancient tree. Lay a treasure untouched by time. Isa fell to his knees, tears filling his eyes. He whispered, "Allah nagode maka." My years of service were not in vain. The horse neighed loudly, as if in triumph, its eyes glowing in the dim light of the forest. By the time Mallam Isa gathered the treasures from beneath the roots, the sun had already set, and night had fallen upon the forest. But Isa did not wait for dawn. With the horse leading him, he traveled through the night, guarding his master's secret inheritance. When the people of the village awoke the next morning, Mallam Isa, that disappeared for about 4 days, has returned. Word spread quickly. Mallam Isa is back. But he was no longer the weary servant they knew. With the hidden wealth, Isa bought wide farmlands, strong herds of cattle, and houses that welcomed the poor and the traveler alike. He became a man of respect, a man of wisdom. Yet he never lost his humility. To the villagers he showed kindness, and even to Al-Haji Dantani, the master who mocked him, Isa showed generosity. And so the servant who was once despised rose to greatness, not through greed, but through patience, loyalty, and the blessing of his master's faithful horse. What the father valued, the son despised. What the son mocked, the servant cherished. And in the end, it was loyalty, not pride, that inherited the true wealth. The end. Join us at Baobaflix next Sunday for another exciting tale.